Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Spill the Beans. Today I'm up at the Legacy Lodge, sitting down with my boy Alex Quezada. We just wrapped up a mastermind with about 20 rock star entrepreneurs, including Alex. He's a member of Legacy Family, my mastermind, and we sit down, talk about some of his takeaways. We're gonna talk about his operation, see what he's got going on. He's flipping hundreds of houses, and he's buying and building self-storage facilities. So I want you guys to learn about how he's making that transition from single family into multifamily, and how he's able to scale his business appropriately. So check out this episode of Spill the Beans. Alex Quezada, what's up, buddy?
How you doing, Tim?
Dude, I'm excited that you're here, man.
Me too.
Welcome to Franklin, North Carolina.
I love it.
You enjoying the mastermind?
Yeah, it's been great.
Yeah? What's one of your biggest takeaways?
One of my biggest takeaways is from you talking about like the content that I'm producing on social media already, putting it out to my buyers list, to my email list, that see from a wholesale business that I have, they see a lot of like just the deals that we do, but they don't really maybe even know that I do self-storage, or I do Airbnbs, or I do these mobile home parks and things like that, that we have these assets and they can ways to be a partner on those also. So like putting out that content to my buyers list, who I've had relationships with for a lot of those guys for like 7 years, you know, on that transaction basis, but they might not follow me at all. So
yeah, they're not following you on social media or whatever. It's a way to deepen the relationship through email, where now they get to know you, and now they're more likely to open up your emails and engage, and they feel like they know you even further, and then it builds likeness, it builds trust, it builds credibility across the board. And so, I mean, that's what we do with these. We share them on our email list on a weekly basis. We drip this out to the email list and let people know. But we're always trying to provide value, you know? And if you always lead with value, whenever I think, you know, it comes time where you need something, or you're going to ask for something, or you want to promote something, then I think they're a lot more open to hearing about it and potentially buying, you know? So
100%.
No, that's cool, man. So give me a little bit of background. Obviously, you're in the Legacy family. It's awesome to have you in the mastermind. It's awesome to have you out at this event as well. And I know you're doing a lot of big things on the wholesale side. Give me your little, like, I don't know about your backstory though. Tell me about your backstory. How'd you get started in real estate and entrepreneurship?
yeah, so I heard I was in UCF getting a finance degree. Heard Ronald Reagan ad on the radio, buy houses, no money down, was saving up to buy a house. And I had a full-time job at the same time, did like timeshare sales, and went to this event, bought his boot camp. Then it's like a pitch fest back in the day when they used to do it.
It's still a pitch fest, yeah.
Bought like everything, every other like little product and service, and I was still in school and working. So I like was digesting it, but I wasn't like taking action with what I was learning. I was like really like trying to learn everything. So I learned everything for about 2 years. Graduated, was in the timeshare, was like the top seller for 2 years. Got a lot of sales skills from that, which is very crucial in this business.
Yeah, that's good sales training.
Yeah, for sure. And so after that, I like was doing a couple deals, and I was like, man, I gotta like fully commit. So I quit my timeshare job where I was making good money and just went all in on real estate. Did a couple deals, and I was missing something. So I went to a RIA meeting, met up with some guy there, partnered on his team as an employee. Probably could have left after like a month because got the knowledge I needed, but I'm a very loyal person. Stuck with him for 3 years. Helped him grow his business. Ran pretty much his wholesale business while he did rehabs and new builds. And I just didn't level up, or he didn't take me along that ride. So me and my brother, who was just working there as an admin for like 6 months, was working with us, and I was like, we're gonna go do our own thing. Did our own thing for 3 years. Did like 3-4 deals a month. And because we didn't make it a business. And then I was going to events and stuff like that, but when I went to one event, a Kent Collier event, in like 2017, these guys were doing, younger than me, we're doing 20, 30 deals a month. I'm like, oh, how do you do that?
It's our borrowing belief, right?
Yeah, and then they were like, well, what are you spending on marketing? I'm like, $3 to $5 grand. They're like, try spending 30. And I was like, okay. So I took an Amex card, spent 30 grand, made 111.
Wow.
And then just kind of like started spending more money on marketing. And then we kind of really got serious on building the team. And so we built up a team. My old boss manager in timeshare, he came and partnered with us because he had experience in call centers. And then we opened a call center. I kind of like really grew our business a lot for ourselves. And
specifically just to handle your wholesale business?
Specifically for us. And then we had, during COVID, we got a coaching client that reached out to us from our social media that you know, they were nervous about COVID. They wanted to go from rehabbing to wholesaling, a little bit less risky. And so we taught them, and they're like, what are you doing for marketing? We said cold callers is our best lead source. They're like, can you give us some cold callers? And we're like, yeah, we could do that. So we did that. And then we're in another mastermind, and we talked about how well it went for them. They were crushing it. And then so we kind of like just started a call center business for a lot of people. So now we have 90 clients, and it's doing well. So we got like 125 callers.
125 callers, 90 clients, and this is in Colombia or something, isn't it? Yeah, so it's in South America. How is it like to build a business internationally?
It's it's a lot, very difficult. We have like a lot of attorneys and HRs, like things that are required. But my business partner lives in Colombia physically, so it makes it very easy. He pretty much runs that whole side of the business. I will be there in June for like a month to help, you know, growth. But you know, he handles like all the backside to our wholesale business, and then like we handle the front side. Yeah. Like, you know, the acquisitions, the dispositions, all the marketing, pulling lists, all that stuff, all the back end PPC marketing we do in-house, all that. So he handles all that. We handle the front side, which now I've elevated my brother to a position where he pretty much runs the wholesale business, so I can focus on self-storage and, you know, growing assets and wealth. So and how many deals are you guys doing on an annual basis now? On the wholesale side? Like 200.
Flipping 200 houses or doing 200 wholesales on an annual basis. That thing's cranking along, but it's transactional, right? What kind of opened you up to wanting to get into the commercial side? Like what was the pivot there? Yeah, so from the Ronald Graham thing, was always about like buying houses with like no money, keeping assets. So I was buying rentals in 2017, and you know, I always knew bigger was better. And so I did some mobile home parks in 2017, and so I had the experience with that, and we just found deals here and there that we partnered with, or you know, syndicated deals with. And when we went to self-storage, it was just it's recession proof, you know, it's very there's still a lot of mom and pop owners, not as management intensive, do a lot of add value very quickly, easily. And so that was an attraction there. So I actually bought Scott Myers is the guy who I learned from. Great guy.
Yeah, he's a great guy. I'm in his mastermind also, and I bought his course like years ago, but I never implemented it because I was like in my wholesale business, so in it. So when I built the team, it allowed me to really focus on it. So I always wanted to go that direction. I just felt like I had to get this operation moving where I can escape and then continue to grow. And that's what I did. So now like we're heavy in, you know, commercial acquisition, self-storage.
I love it, man. Are you looking to get rid of the wholesale side of things, or are you looking to just automate that? And what does that process, what's the thought process look like? And then what does the actual implementation process look like?
Yeah, so we're actually looking to grow the call center business and the wholesale business, because it feeds the wholesale business very well, because we get essentially like free marketing, essentially. And so we're gonna grow that, but we'll just like kind of stabilize it where it gets, you know, 4 or 5 million a year kind of range, and just keep it like that. Yeah. And in that way, we can grow the acquisitions of self-storage or commercial deals as well. Because it's kind of like the same processes. We just got to build a team around specifically for self-storage. So that's what we're working on right now.
What's been one of the biggest like hurdles getting into like the more buy and hold larger commercial projects?
Really just finding good quality deals, and then also like underwriting the deals and looking at all of them. You know, because
you got to go through a lot, man, in order to find some good ones right now, right?
A lot, yeah. And so everything we've bought so far has been off market, so it makes it a little bit difficult with that, because people don't have their books together. So like I got to help them get their books together and rent rolls and all that stuff, like recreating it from paper. But that's like the add value that we give that allows them to sell. But we're looking at a lot of more broker deals, because we have a lot of people, you know, throwing money at us to invest. And
we're at a point now where, what do you have, 5?
We have 5 existing and 1 new development, and we're closing on another one in April.
Yeah, so like you have a proven track record now where you found a bunch of stuff that was off market, closed on those, transacted on those, built up your balance sheet on those, where now you can go and knock on the door of a broker, and they're going to give you a lot of respect, whereas maybe they wouldn't have before. Yeah, hey, dude, you're good at flipping houses, but you know, can you close on a commercial project? I don't know, but you've shown that track record. So I think that's a really key point whenever people come through Commercial Empire or the Mastermind, and it's like, dude, go and find some off-market direct-to-seller deals that you can control. You're not going to get into a bidding war, right? You're not going to deal with brokers and all that stuff. And then once you have the balance sheet built up, now you can go to the brokers. You can have the respect to go get a seat at the table, make an offer, and have a greater likelihood of them accepting the offer versus, even if somebody comes in with a higher offer but they don't have the experience or they don't own a portfolio yet. I'm going through this right now with some stuff that I'm selling. I got multiple offers. I actually turned down a higher offer on one of the deals in order to take a lower offer from somebody who I know is going to close.
Yeah, 100%.
And so, how do you convey that? I think it's by going out, doing some small deals, building up some of those little victories, and then having the posture and the reputation in order to go and transact on that stuff. So
yeah, brokers call us now too. They're like, they pitch us and trying to.
Saw that you just bought this one. You're gonna buy this one. Are you trying to stick to Florida?
I prefer Florida. Obviously, is where we want to be. The market's fire, and I think it's going to continue to have a lot of growth. But the Southeast, we're looking at the Southeast for the level of deals we want to do. We got to look elsewhere also and kind of expand our marketing. So I love North Carolina. North Carolina's a great market. Yeah. But we're looking all the Southeast.
Yeah. No, that's cool, man. So where do you want to take that? What are your goals over the next 12 to 24 months on that side?
So really building up the team for self-storage, get some guys in there. We talked about kind of like the process of that underwriting and whatnot. So what I feel like is a good way to easily implement that is actually, because we got great closers in our wholesale business and they want to learn more. They've been with us for a couple of years and they want to know more and educate themselves on that side of the business also. So I know how you kind of like turned your wholesale business completely into multifamily and kind of like slowly kind of.
But dude, I didn't have a good wholesale business, right? Like you're doing big deals, big numbers. Like mine was a bunch of shitty houses in rough parts of Cleveland, Ohio. And we really weren't that good. So it was pretty easy for me to just turn my back and shut that down and burn the ships on that side of things. So I wouldn't advise shutting down if you have like a successful business already. Leave that in place. Just figure out how to automate it and then move on to business number 2.
Yeah. So as we're moving into a new office and as we're looking to hire more people. So when we hire more people, the people who've been seasoned with us or had the best sales skills also, we're going to turn on some leads with the call center from using your new software to pull lists. Yeah. And then
Commercial Empire Deal Flow. Check it out.
And then, so we'll use that, turn on some leads, and then have the process with the deal calculators and whatnot to have our team kind of go through those deals. And I already have an acquisition team. I just get to start feeding them deals like a couple hours a day, hit this bucket to go through these leads and start already generating what we can do from our current staff. Yeah. And then as that grows and with more acquisitions, I can probably get a full-time, one of them to be committed when they see the deal flow and the commissions that come from it as well to be like, okay, I'm going to be on this side fully. Yeah. And then kind of raise them from within. And we're looking to do like 10 deals this year. And
10 new self-storage deals. Yep. What does that look like on like a size and total portfolio value?
So right now we're looking, everything we bought is probably in like 20 to 25,000 square foot range. Okay. Some with expansion opportunities. We are building one in Tallahassee.
What's typical price point of something that size? And how many rental units are in that?
Yeah. So like it's between, we've gotten some good deals like $1 million to like $2 million.
$1 million to $2 million, and it's probably what, a few hundred?
100 to 200.
100, 200 storage units. Yep. Got it.
And then, but we're looking at one now that's like $4.5 million. It's like 50,000 square feet storage, and a bigger deal. It's like a little portfolio deal, all kind of close together. So that would be a good one if I'm going to make the offer tomorrow actually on it. So trying to find bigger ones. Also, that's a broker deal. It's from all the direct mail. Everybody who calls us from direct mail is usually the smaller ones. People who have bigger portfolios, bigger properties tend to, just have been going to brokers and not to us.
I mean, dude, direct-to-seller marketing works way better when it's usually the mom-and-pop owners, right? The institutions and stuff typically are going to sell something through a broker because they don't want to have to deal with it. They don't want to have to work on it. Dude, me, like not saying I'm an institution or anything, but like I don't want to take a bunch of seller or buyer phone calls, screen buyers. Dude, there's professionals that do that shit, right? I'd rather hand it off to them, pay them a 1%, 1.5% fee or whatever it ends up being, let them market the hell out of it, spend a lot of time, spend a lot of their efforts fielding those questions, and let them go and list it, man, and just bring me the top 3 buyers, and then I'll make a decision, right? So that direct seller stuff, though, doesn't work as well, to the big to the big owners, but dude, you can build a hell of a portfolio on some of these, $1 million to $5 million deals, get it up to a $50 million portfolio, dude, and then you can go and posture up with some of the brokers,
Yeah, and that's what we're kind of doing. Like in my other group, these guys were talking about like going after bigger deals. He's like, man, like you're a little niche. If you can gobble more of those up, just keep doing that. Got a nice portfolio together. It's easier. You don't have to compete with big guys.
Yeah,
you get them done quicker, better pricing. What
about management though? Is it like the reason I don't buy smaller apartment buildings is because you lose out on the scale of management.
Yeah.
I can't have an on-site manager. I can't have an on-site maintenance personnel. Like it just, so it loses out on that. You don't really need that because there's a lot of automations, I guess, in the storage place. Is that what you guys look to do? You guys just have like third or virtual support and then you try to put all automations in place?
So we do automate the facility as much as possible. We don't really like the no manager at all, like unmanned facility. We have ones that are unmanned, but like they're not there every day. So they're kind of like on call, 9 to 1 on call managers.
Or they're bumping around to all the different spots and showing their face and making sure everything's good. And doors are locked and gates are working and all that, right?
Yeah, and we kind of been going after like retired folks who like want extra income and want some more stuff to do instead of just sitting back and watching TV all day.
Yeah.
And they take pride of ownership, and a lot of times they're working more than those like 4 hours a day because they have pride of ownership and they're like a professional people, and it's great. They're great managers, and so one guy manages 2, another lady manages 2, and then one manages 1. But they get paid, not a ton of money, but they treat it like their own. So it's very win-win.
So it is reasonable to be able to go out and do that, and you don't have to have. So you don't use third-party management for anything?
No.
Have you looked into it and you just decided not to do it because you want more control or the price, or like what was that?
Just like the like you talk about like rowing in the same direction. Like it's what's their incentive to like work the best for you? Like they're not going to work it as good as we are. And I felt like if we had the full control and we managed it and we knew all the ins and outs of the business and we knew what levers to pull, like we would do that. Where they might let it slip because they're growing their management company and not solely focused on ours.
It's kind of like construction, right? Like the finished work, like all the big ticket stuff. It seems like, but it's not a finished product until it gets all the way to 100% of the way done. I feel like management companies are gonna be like, hey, we're 90% occupied, 92%. That's pretty good, right? And like, there's a lot more work to get it to that final, 100% completed or 100% occupied, and so they're just not willing to put in that additional work in order to get that additional little bump, because it's a lot more work than just getting up to 90%. But like, dude, I feel like if you control it, you're going to push it and try to get to 100% occupancy all the time, and I just don't see that drive and that desire from management companies.
Yeah, for sure on the multifamily side, and same on the self-storage. But on the self-storage side, like I see people who have managers that are 100% occupied, and you actually don't want to be 100% occupied in self-storage. You want to be like the 90, 92, because it allows for you to do like dynamic pricing. And so when people if everybody else is sold out and you have the only 10 by 20, you can maximize that price by driving the rents up because you have the only 10 by 20. So you kind of want to have some inventory and don't always want to be 100% full. So,
Well, yeah, if you're 100% full, it means your prices are probably too low.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you're below 90%, then your prices are probably too high. You know, so it allows you to kind of be in that 92, 95% range, and is usually ideal from a target price point of what you want to be able to offer your units at, right?
Yep, 100%.
No, that's good, man. And then tell me about the Airbnb stuff that you have going on.
Yeah, so we've been buying a lot of Airbnbs, all in Florida currently. They're just doing really well. Have a partner.
Where in Florida?
So we have a few in Daytona Beach. We have a quadplex, single family house, 2 family, like 2 houses on one lot. That one just a little one got 7,000 in March, which would rent for like maybe $1,200-$1,300.
Wow.
And it was the first month it was on the market. Pretty much all the rehabs we had been doing on these Airbnbs have been like full rehabs. So it took a long time to get them going.
Are these condos or are they houses?
They're houses. So quadplex, so small multifamily. Yeah. And then some are single family houses. So we have Daytona Beach, we have a few, Pensacola, Cape Coral, Pompano Beach, which is a really nice one right by the water. Got that with seller financing. Got another one with seller financing in Cape Coral as well. And so
in this market,
yeah,
it's amazing, right? Like there's no deals. Not only are you getting deals, but you're getting deals on seller financing. You know, like the terms that you want to.
I got a house today in Dallas. We closed on it today. It was wire and sign docs here. $250,000 in Dallas, no money down, all seller finance, 2% amortized, 30 years. Killer. In Dallas, fire market.
Dude, it's insane. It's insane to me. Like, what you focus on expands, right? And if you focus on problems and no deals, you're not going to find deals. Like, we know that there's deals in every single market regardless, and so we don't even accept that as an excuse from our team, and that's why we were able to go out and do deals, right? Because we've breathed that belief into our teams. There's always opportunities. There's always deals, and that's why we always find them. That's why you guys always find them. What are some hacks in order to find some off-market deals or seller finance deals right now? Like, what are you guys looking for?
So we just do broad advertising, and it's just seeing what the seller wants. If it's not a destroyed property, or if it's not a property where they're in so much need to sell, like they have to sell because of this issue, you know, we say, hey, we'll pay your price if you can give us our terms.
Yeah.
You know, so if we can work out a deal that way, like sometimes we don't even give them a cash offer. We're like, hey, like we're not a match there, but like let me know what you want, what you need out of the deal, and we'll see if we can create a win-win. And that's all we do, and it's all really on the follow-up. So a lot of these deals at Dallas, when we were talking to that guy for months, you know, and then he finally, you know, was like, called us back and it's like, hey, I'll do that deal. So making offers, looking at it through like not only like the cash lens, I'm just going to wholesale. Like I've built pretty much my entire portfolio of like single family from seller financing and subject to, and we have like 50, 60 houses.
Dude, I love it. Dude, it's swinging the bat, right? It's putting it out there, making the offer. And then another thing you said is fact finding, right? Not just thinking that the only solution to their problem is sell the house for as much money as I could possibly get. No, there's other things that could be going on. Yep. Dude, I found a lot of people don't want to sell their property because they don't want the capital gains on it. They don't want the tax liability that comes from it. And they like the residual income. So they would prefer to seller finance it and carry back a percentage with some money down, or maybe not some money down, or just not have the maintenance, not have the headache. Like, the reason we are here is because the seller of this property is 81 years old when I bought it, or was 81 when I bought it. He's 82 now. But it's a lot of houses, 12,000 square feet to maintain for an 81-year-old person, right? And like, that was more important to them, of not having the maintenance and not having the ongoing, not liability, but upkeep and the cost of the upkeep. To them. Like, dude, these wood beams, he said he had this done about 3 years ago, where they came in, they wiped them all down, they sanded it, they re-lacquered it all, and like stained it and just reconditioned all the wood here and on the inside and on the front porch as well. And it was $35,000 for $40,000 to do it. Ooh. Dude, you got to do that every 10 years. Guess what, man? That starts adding up. You know what I mean? And there's something like, but he wanted residual income, right? He didn't want to take the money and put it in the stock market, because he lost 40% of his portfolio in 2007, 2008 when the market collapsed, right? He's confident in this property. He's obviously comfortable with this property. He likes getting 4% on his money instead of 0% on his money sitting in a bank account. And he doesn't want the big tax liability. So just by fact finding and having those conversations, it's easy to then understand how to creatively finance and creatively formulate an offer that you know is going to be a win-win all the way around, you know?
Well, the first self-storage deal we bought was seller finance. They were asking like a 5 cap. I was like, hey, the only way I can pay, it was off market. I'm like, the only way we can pay this number is with doing seller financing. We talked to them about, you know, the capital gains, and they're like, oh, 100% we want to go this direction. And we gave them multiple even seller finance options, and they picked one that I thought was more beneficial for me, but for whatever reason, it's more beneficial for them. You know, they chose it, and it works. You know, they're super happy. It got us into the deal with like putting like 10% down, like 13% down. It's crazy. And we did all the added value in that deal in like 6 months, and we brought it from a 5 cap to a 12 cap in 6 months.
Dude, it's amazing, man. So give me as we close down here, this has been awesome, man. So much good stuff. What is like, I don't know. We spent a lot of time the past 2 days kind of reflecting on the mastermind. We're hanging out, playing poker and darts and foosball and ping pong until 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, having like some really in-depth conversations, really reflecting on our business, thinking about where we want to take it and stuff. What would you suggest to somebody who is trying to figure out what's the next path, to go down? Like, which direction should I go? Like, how do they get that clarity like that you got here?
They, in their business, or choosing like which kind of business?
Just somebody who's at a hurdle, I guess, in their business right now. What's the best way to break through hurdles and
I think it's mentors, like mentorships, masterminds, like. That has helped me grow exponentially.
Yeah.
I've always gone to coaching in like different events, even from the Ronald Graham. Like every single year, I've gone to multiple events where I'm educating myself, connecting with the right people who've been through the hurdles, and that way I can ask you like, hey, what do I do in this situation?
Yeah.
Lean on their experience. And so I'm in like 3 masterminds. I connect with a lot of guys, build great relationships with guys at masterminds and events like this. Like more private ones are super great. Connected with a lot of guys here that are awesome, doing big things. And so leaning on those people, and like, so if you're not around these people, like that's what you need to do. Like go to a local RIA or go to somebody who's killing it in your market and like reach out and like provide value. Like you said in the beginning, like show value first. Like how can you help them and not just like take.
Yep.
But like value some way, help them out, see what they're struggling with, and then they'll in return help you. But being in these circles, putting yourself around the people who've been there and done it is what you need to do 100%.
Dude, I agree 100%, man. It's like you can't see the picture when you're inside the frame, right? Like you need somebody's outside perspective. And to other people, it's like almost simple, right? Yeah. Like, dude, have you thought about this? Why don't you try that? And you're like, damn, I just been ingrained so much that I haven't really been able to even look at that, and just having that outside perspective and borrowing the belief from those people, being like, dude, no problem. Oh, by the way, I got a connection for you. Let me make that intro. Yeah. Sharing resources and fast tracking relationships that other people have taken a decade to build. That because we're here together, you can then lean on that relationship. I can make an intro, and then all of a sudden, boom, you have a connection that has taken me 10 years to find and develop that relationship. Like that's a big deal. And then another thing that you had mentioned is like, you're in 3 masterminds. You come out to events all the time. You bought all the courses from Ron LeGrand. Like that's a theme that I've seen in, are you successful because you did all that stuff, or because you had the mindset to do all those things, right? Like being willing to just get the information and realize the information's out. Dude, this shit's not that new, right? Real estate's been around for a long time. You don't have to struggle when there's other people who have the information that you're seeking, right? Just go out and find the person to give you the information instead of you seeking the information yourself. And it's gonna fast track your success, I think, so much quicker.
100%. And the other thing on that is like, because there are people like, the masterminds not so much, but like just the events, like everybody likes to learn, but it's about taking action.
Yeah.
Like putting into action immediately, like speed of implementation. Like the other guy who runs the mastermind like complimented me. He's like, dude, like you take action so fast. Like,
dude, you signed up for the mastermind. When we got on a phone call, you're like, dude, send me over the link, I'll sign up. And you signed up immediately when I sent you the link. I was like, he's a real deal, right? You can tell like how a person is, like based on how quickly they pay, or how quickly they sign up, or how quickly they take action, really is the thing. So I agree with that 100%, man. So what are the action steps as you leave here? Like what's the 1-2 things that you're going to implement in the next 7 days?
Yep, so talking to my business partner in Colombia, turn on marketing for self-storage, and we're also going to do some small multifamily testing.
With the CE deal flow?
Yep, do that. Get my acquisitions teams trained up on the deal calculator, what to ask for. We've done some wholesale apartments already, so like they get the gist of it, but just give them some further training on that, implement that right away, and just get some marketing going in so that we can look at these more deals and get more deal flow for ourselves, and we can wholesale some deals also.
Love it.
And just kind of build that up, and hiring more people. I think a soon future hire is the in-house attorney that you were talking about. I think that was a big takeaway today. I put that down. That's going to be a key hire. I think by the end of this year, if not before, getting someone like that in place, because that can I'm going to pay for it anyway, so it just makes sense.
Dude, it has been a game changer. I have 2 in-house attorneys now because the first one was so impactful, and just realized how much more we control and how much more in the know we are with everything that's going on with all of our transactions, dude. It's been an absolute game changer to have attorneys in-house, and they're not as expensive as you might think. Yeah. You know what I mean? Both of my attorneys make a lot of money, but there are attorneys out there who only make $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year that you could totally bring in-house. Or somebody who's retired or is now at home with the kids who might want to work on a part-time basis in-house, who are very capable, very competent, very like rock star A-player types that just need a little bit of flexibility in schedule or work environment. So, no man, it's awesome, dude. I'm excited for you. I'm excited to see where you take this and how much action you're going to take over the next 10, 12, 15 months and see where you are, man. So I appreciate you being here, brother.
Likewise. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Well, I hope you got a ton of value out of that episode of Spill the Beans. Please make sure, give them a follow and connect with them on social media. And if there's ways that you guys can do some business together, we'd love to see it. And if you did get some value, please share it on social media. Give me a like, give me a comment, give me your biggest takeaway in the comments below. And subscribe to the channel. The reason we do this is so we can make a bigger impact. So please do share this on any different channel that you possibly can, and give me some feedback. I'd love to hear what you liked, what you think we could do better with. Any questions that you have, post them below, and I'll do a video specifically answering some of your questions. So until next time, see you on Spill the Beans.